And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto, episode 570. I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish in today's top stories. Trump told Treasury Secretary to go after Bitcoin, Bolton book reportedly claims. The U.S. Drug Agency failed to properly oversee crypto investigations, Department of Justice reports. Robinhood temporarily down for the count. Crypto card issuer Wirecard says is missing $2.1 billion in German Enron scandal. And last but not least, Russia officially lifts its 2-year Telegram ban and more. But first, what is going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So we've seen a lot of sideways movement the last few months. Some traders getting kind of antsy. Nothing really moved. Bitcoin's at $9,388, up 0.2%. Ethereum at $231 is up 0.2% as well. Ripple still sitting at 19 cents, down 0.7%. Bcash at $238 is up 0.2%. Litecoin down as well, 43.60, down 0.6%. And EOS at 254 is down 0.1%. Down negative 0.1%. So we don't really see much movement. Most of these cryptos are going sideways, but it seems like it's just gearing up for either a huge pump or a huge dump.
Something, right? It's something.
Place your bets.
It's something. You got to place your bets.
It doesn't go
now.
sideways this long unless a big move is happening. And money printer has gone burr for a long time, and we just printed more trillions. So we'll see.
They talking about a second stimulus.
Stimulus, yeah.
I was thinking about that other day. Talking about second stimulus and $1,200 per dependent, with some families getting up to like 40, whatever, 100. My math's terrible. I went to public school a long time. But seriously, so it's like if each family or many families are going to see an additional $4,000. I won't say an additional because a lot of people aren't working, so it's money they need. But for some people, that will be additional money. That will be an additional extra $1,200. So I think if that happens, I think depending on when they push out their next stimulus, could determine the price. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if they don't push it out, I think you're right. We could take it might be that nasty dip we've been waiting on, but I think they can push one out next month or so. We'll see those prices inflate again. I mean, we may see Bitcoin surpass the 10,000, 10.5, 10.7. My question then will be, is it enough volume going into it to pump it up to the 12, 13, 14K mark, or is it going to be just enough where we see the same chop we're seeing at 99,000, 9,400, where we see that same chop at 10,400, 11,400. We're just sitting there going back and forth. So.
Oh yeah, and I personally have written a letter to the fintech task force
to
figure out new ways to distribute those stimulus payments digitally. And right now it looks as though they're going that route because they're having trouble with sending out checks. Of course, because who the hell writes checks anymore?
Who writes checks in 2020?
And if the big issue here is just getting Trump's signature on it, then that's a non-starter. So basically, disseminating these checks, disseminating this money has to be a lot easier. So hopefully we can get it done.
Let's make a deal. And then as far as other prices, it might be a good time for some people to go dumpster diving. To be fair, a lot of these prices are still inflated, right? Like Ripple's inflated. Neo, I'm looking at Neo, is $10.44. That's still like 10 to 20 times its price what it should be actually. So they're still inflated. But with all that being said, we know a good Bitcoin bull run, inflation or not, can pump these things up even more. So something to definitely pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
Top story today, speaking of Trump's signature, according to that Michael Bolton book that the United States is trying to restrict from coming out, it looks like Trump told Treasury Secretary to go after Bitcoin. This new Bolton book reportedly claims, no duh. No duh. If that wasn't apparently clear, if you're still under this conspiracy theorist thing when it comes to the United States and Bitcoin, you, my friend, aren't the most intelligent person out there. It's literally that simple, because why would John Bolton, with everything going on, also be like, oh yeah, he said don't mess with Bitcoin either. Oh, he's not going to throw that lie in. But President Trump is accused of ordering Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to focus on a clampdown on Bitcoin over negotiation at trade with China. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton reportedly claims. Wow. What is going on here?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about market manipulation.
Yeah, so exactly.
It doesn't get any higher than that.
Exactly. And yeah, Steve Mnuchin, he was reportedly told by Trump, don't be a trade negotiator. go after Bitcoin for fraud. And this stemmed from negotiations with trade with China, because China is known to have a lot of the shares of Bitcoin and a lot of the mining activity. This conversation was supposedly in May 2018 after Bitcoin rose 33% against the dollar. And nobody knows exactly why he told Munchkin to crack down on Bitcoin, but they've supposedly talked about cryptocurrencies before. I think what's happening here is that from a job standpoint, he works for the Federal Reserve. I don't think people understand that. If your boss is one entity, you can't literally support their competition. So that was basically how it came out, and it was basically a no. Yeah, we know, no duh. He already tweeted it out. He already said Bitcoin is thin air. Even though I don't think he really believes that, he's trying to fight against China.
No, he's doing his job as the president and trying to secure the dollar as being everyone uses the dollar. Everything's backed by a dollar. He's doing his job.
Yeah, because if the dollar fails while he's president, it's nothing he can say then. I mean, socially people can hate him. People think he says stuff, does something. But economically, if the whole economy fails, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy with, so you would have got, no, we're not even giving you security after you leave the presidency. So that's what he's trying to save, the almighty dollar.
And also I will say that the way this exchange happens and the way he kind of writes about it, just from this paragraph, I haven't read the passage, but it does sound like an off-the-cuff remark, which we know President Trump is known for making. Some of them definitely get you all triggered. I know some of the one cuffs when he grabs things, but I feel like this is an off-the-cuff remark where, again, they've already talked about Bitcoin in the past, right? And they already know, hey, Bitcoin. I'm sure this was said. Bitcoin is not, if not the number one threat, it is on the top 5, top 10 threats to the American dollar and national security. I am sure they've had that conversation in the past, which is why here they're talking about this tense exchange. Yeah, he probably was going back and forth with him. And you got Munchkin over here telling the president what to do about China. He's like, you know what? Go worry about Bitcoin. Yeah. Like that is, I'm assuming that is how that conversation happened. Not they're in depth about Bitcoin. He's like, forget China. I'm sure it's just an off the cuff mark. Like, you need to go after Bitcoin right now. Don't worry about this. Worry about the fake money over there. I can see that being a statement.
Oh yeah. Made. And I mean, I'm more, sort of conspiracy wise. I put on my tinfoil hat. The only time Trump has ever tweeted about Bitcoin ever, before or after, was the day my book came out. So I'm not saying it was because of that, but
that's a true story.
It's kind of weird that the day my book came out was the only day he ever tweeted about Bitcoin.
Keep playing. Get that. Hey, excuse me, sir. Heard you've been making your waves in the world these days.
Yeah, whatever. I shoot back.
Hey, hilarious. U.S. Drug Agency failed to properly oversee crypto investigations Department of Justice report, and we say to that, you don't say.
Yeah, okay.
The DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, the real gang, failed to adequately. Speaking of DEA, I just want to throw this out there for everybody who's still like, America, can't do no wrong. DEA, Fast and Furious. Google it. All right. Anyway, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, Fast and Furious. Google it. Failed to adequately police its undercover agents' handling of cryptocurrency, even years after one of its agents stole $700,000 in Bitcoin in 2015, according to a new report, not from a gentleman of crypto, but from the United States Department of Justice's Office of the Inspector General. If the U.S. DOJ IG is telling you that agents stole $700,000, I guarantee you there are more agents they're missing. They stole more money.
It's more money, yeah, definitely. And honestly, when I first I remember this story in 2015. It was over $1 million.
We talked about it.
It was over $1 million, and the thing that happened was I remember at the time I was working for this company, and I was trying to tell them about Bitcoin. And when they saw this story, I told them, I said, do you think government officials steal stuff that's not valuable? Because they still stole oil, they steal gold, they steal whole countries, and now they're stealing Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin is very valuable. This was back when Bitcoin, I think it was like $500 maybe. So this was a good while ago, and they still have done nothing about it. And they say $700,000 worth of crypto. That was at the time. Remember,
that was in 2015.
Bitcoin was $500 at the time.
Wow.
So we're talking about a 20x increase in that. That is way more.
Millions.
Yeah, that's 14 million right there. So I don't know exactly their math. I don't know if they actually adjusted it for now, but I remember back then the price was around $1 million. And if they were still in that, this can't be the only situation where crypto was taken or stolen. They do have a lot of cybersecurity tools where hacks could be just them taking your crypto from you. So I'm not surprised by this. This report came out 5 years after it happened.
Come on.
So think about it, people. They're literally letting these people get away with it. And 5
those
years
people
later,
are being promoted.
Hey.
5 years in a government job, you just got promoted at least one time. At least once.
I don't forget. I've been around a long time. I remember all this garbage back in the day.
So and stuff like this, and we're going to talk more about the story real quick, but stuff like this is my beef when people kind of make it out like, well, you're trying to go against the government or you're trying to do your own. It's like, look, stop listening to other humans to tell you how to live your adult life. Yeah. It's that simple. That's the way I look at it. So when I read this, this was published in a redacted form. So we didn't even get the whole
You didn't get the whole story.
You don't get the whole story.
Redacted head ass.
The only part of the story that you're getting is the fact that, yes, government agents did steal money and they're free still and they probably got promoted. Like, that's the only information we're going. So it was published in a redacted form on Wednesday. The IG report an audit of income generating undercover operations, which was called income generating undercover operations, cast the federal government's leading drug buster and frequent crypto cop as an agency who efforts to clamp down on an apparent explosion in virtual currency money laundering got ahead of its own ability to monitor itself. It is literally saying here, the DEA's management of virtual currency related activities was insufficient due to inadequate headquarters management, lack of policies, inadequate internal control procedures, insufficient supervisory oversight, and lack of training for digital currency activities, IG wrote.
Who did y'all hire? Mark Capellas?
And this same thing could be said for the entire government when it comes to Bitcoin in 2020. The other thing I want to point out is, let's see, according to the IG report, is record keeping. Now, again, this is the DEA. The DEA who comes out there and everybody else shit about some guns and drugs, which is as American as it gets. I'm sorry to tell you, that's the truth. Is as American as apple pie, who get in everybody else's business. This is the same DEA that the IG said its record keeping was so poor that investigators struggle to match up transaction information with activities. You tell me DEA can't keep records down?
Oh, come on, man. Y'all, it's a blockchain, too, that you could have explored and seen where, chain analysis somehow can find anybody's transactions. These guys couldn't find their own. And wow, this is 5 years later, people.
And just last but not least, to piggyback on what you said, this is the part of the IG report as well. Remember, the U.S. Department of Justice, they are saying, quote, "We are concerned that following this incident, the DEA did not implement additional internal controls specifically related to the investigations involving virtual currency." They didn't do nothing different. They still been stealing, which we've been saying for I don't know how long. They've been stealing. The SEC is stealing. FINRA stealing. Who else is in this mix right now? CFTC stealing. They're stealing. They're stealing. And again, the worst part about this is the DEA. This is supposed to be everybody parent telling you what you're allowed to do and what you can't do.
Oh, yeah. Because as an adult, you obviously can't make your own decisions.
Oh, my goodness. It's
a bunch of adults trying to tell adults how to live.
This is the real game.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, you need to tell all these kids in these bad neighborhoods, if they really want to join the game, get into the American government, all right? You get a paycheck and some benefits with it.
Oh, yeah.
Madam Crypto, Ola, Leroy Forbes, hello. Dexter Hand Seniors, Jizzy Mack, Mr. Gibson Sr., Crypto and Culture, Crypto Key. Who else we have in here? Everybody. Timothy Grigsby, Morpheus Mind. So the USA is only legitimizing Bitcoin and thereby increasing awareness and its value globally. That is very true.
Pretty much. We always say it. Any news is good news.
Right. Blockchain, Shoja, what's going on? Shuja, Morpheus Mind, Eric Brooks said, well done, the Kaiser Report. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Bitcoin Zay for the Kaiser Report.
Appreciate it, Eric.
Dylan Darchinville. Hello.
What's up, Dylan?
Everybody here. All right. Robinhood temporarily down. I don't think I said that word right. Robinhood temporarily down for the count. What's going on with Robinhood?
Oh, yeah. So, again, Robinhood is down because of their platform. I guess can't manage the amount of volume. They experienced a major outage in equities and options trading, as well as degraded performance in cryptocurrency trading on June 18th.
I love it.
So, yeah, their official statement was, we're currently experiencing issues in our services and are investigating the issue. And basically, Robinhood has become a meme at this point because they shut down every few weeks. You had 13-year-olds who were supposedly making thousands. You had one guy yesterday who committed suicide because he had negative $730K in his Robinhood account. So Robinhood's been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Even though at the beginning, I thought Robinhood would be a good option to try and trade on. I've about faced on that probably about 6 months ago after I started seeing how the outages were affecting traders. They literally have outages more than Coinbase. And for some reason they can't fix it, but I think it's part of a bigger plan. It's like they can't have all these people making money off of their trading app. And I don't know if they're insolvent. Who knows? I don't know. But they're down for the count again. I would say move your money off of Robinhood if you can, and try another service.
Yeah, whenever you see this, I mean, and it's funny, this photo is arrows. Imagine those arrows instead of feathers at the end just have red flags. It's like red flag, red flag,
yeah.
red flag. Like, yeah, you're talking about trading money, equities, options, and I don't even know what a degraded performance. And for one, I don't want to hear degraded performance when it comes to trading something that trades 24/7 around the clock.
Yeah.
Degraded performance could cost you your everything.
Yeah.
5 minutes of being down could cost you everything. So I don't know what degraded performance means, but it's not working. So
get it together.
As Bitcoins, they said, these are your warnings. If you continue to trade on there and then all of a sudden they go under, something happens, money's missing, you will not be getting back. It's unfortunate, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Mm-hmm. What's going on, P-Man Van? Mr. G, hello, hello, hello. Eric Brooks said, and the DEA has now been put on investigating protesters against police violence. And yeah, we know how that goes. You think Robinhood will make a run for it?
I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. And they have some slick ways to do it too. But.
And I was about to go there too, because these Wall Street companies, and I know Robinhood isn't Wall Street, but they have some of those same advisors and all that, right? That's why I consider them that. But they can't do the same type of exit scam as some of these companies you don't know anybody on the board they can do. But at the same time, they have innovative ways of doing exit scams. It might not be just straight up, we just disappear and you don't hear from us. It might be this cyber attack, this ransomware. It's going to be something when your money's not there. Like,
it's something. Either way, the money's not going to be there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we have shut down services. And
call it what you want, but the money's going to be missing.
Yeah.
So that's just something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Eric Brooks said, time for Robinhood to change his name to Sheriff for Loxley, stealing from the poor to give to the rich.
Exactly.
Morpheus Mind said, I feel bad. I told my friends to join Robinhood for some free stock, but now I'm telling them to use Uphold.
Use Uphold, people. Uphold is always quiet.
Uphold, listen.
Stays under and I still use it to this day because they work. They have everything on it. Use Uphold. People.
I like what you said. They quiet. Like, you don't see Uphold on the news,
on
the music
all
videos. No, they don't do all that. They're in the background handling their business.
All on the songs.
And I would say, for banking, Silvergate, we always talk about Silvergate, but they've actually closed down opening new accounts. I'm not sure if it's because of the quarantine or what, but I actually tried to get an account with them a few months ago before the quarantine started. I told you I'll reach out to them, and they shut it down. They wouldn't say why. I talked to somebody on the phone. It was like the whole process was weird. It was like, I got somebody on the phone this quick for a bank? Like, It was crazy. But the way it sounded, it was like, hey, we don't give crypto accounts out to people. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You got the wrong number. It was literally a conversation like that. And I was like,
I
was talking to the lady. I was like, I know what's going on. Like, you don't got to tell me. I understand.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, there's a lot going on right now. I was like,
yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto card issuer Wirecard says is missing $2.1 billion in German Enron scandal.
What in the world?
How's this possible?
It's plummeted 60%.
What is going on here with this with Wirecard?
Oh, man.
It sounds like a DEA thing is going on.
Their shares plunged more than Verge.
If that's possible.
If that's possible. I mean, 60% in the stock market is your company is pretty much gone. On Thursday, the German payments giant, they postponed their annual results because they could not confirm the existence of $2.1 billion or 1.9 billion euros on their balance sheet.
That's a DA. That is a DA.
Oh, man. So they could
money.
Yeah.
What money?
And they said there were indications that spurious balance confirmations have been made by trustee to deceive the auditor and create a wrong perception of the existence of such cash balances. I have a sneaking suspicion this is not the only company doing this. They just got caught. And unfortunately for them, I guess they didn't have a billionaire laying around that could front them the money so it looked like it and then give it back to him later. Like a lot of these companies do with Warren Buffett. They literally call him on the phone like, hey, can you slide us $5 billion? Just give us $5 billion, we'll give you $6 billion next year. You know what I mean? Like that's the phone call. I mean, if you watched, I forget the movie, but it's a movie about the bankers. That's what they did. They called Warren Buffett crying. And it seems like companies like this, when you don't have $2.1 billion, where is it at? Where did the money go? I mean, who knows? So this is one of Germany's top card processors, and unfortunately for them, this doesn't look good, man. I mean, not at all. It does not. I don't know what to make of this.
A couple things I want to point out. Their auditor who caught it is none other than Ernest & Young. So that's important because if you remember, Ernest & Young is also handling the Canadian case up there with the $270 million of missing money. Who was that? What was that guy? I can't think of it.
I can't think of his name either.
But my point is...
Yeah, what happened with them, too?
I can't. Who knows? My point is it looks like Ernest & Young is going to become the official cryptocurrency auditor for companies.
Yeah.
Like, if they already done 2 or 3 of the big ones that you hear in the news, they came to take over the space. So... get comfortable hearing seeing EY here, Ernest & Young more. Again, this is the second time we've seen them on a big auditing case such as this, where a lot of money is. What if Ernest & Young is actually the ones that's coming in like, no. What you do is we say it's missing. What if they actually get it?
Yeah.
And another thing I want to point out again is this same company. How this is involved in crypto. As you said, it's already lost 60% on the market. But they were the payment card providers for Crypto.com and 10x. If you remember, 10x was touting their crypto card, their Visa and debit card, they can do all this stuff. It did not work out, but we're starting to see why it might have not worked out.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of people were saying they weren't getting those cards, so they were trying to order them and stuff. I wonder if this thing with Wirecard not having no money has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So this is crazy to see.
Yeah.
It looks like Wirecard had already delayed the release of its audited financial statements. This may be it for them as well. And again, I want to see what's going to happen with Crypto.com. They just rolled out their payment plan in Europe last month, as it says here. They're saying they're going to switch their card issuer. Sounds easy. It's not. And then again, I think 10X already took a big hit when their CEO left. So I'm not sure they're even swimming right now.
Yeah, they may be a little insolvent themselves. Timothy Grigsby, did they check the couch cushions for that $2.1 billion? Exactly. It's missing. But I guarantee you, this is not going to be the last company that has missing money on their balance sheets. Because their balance sheets were usually inflated with money that was coming later, money that wasn't there, and nobody really has checked these big companies. And as Mr. G says here, Finance 1.0 is crumbling right before our eyes.
And I mean, everyone's doing this. Don't forget what's happening. We've been saying this since 2017 when we started. The can has been kicked down the road, so it's hard to tell. But we've been saying this thing is cracking. I mean, it should have broke already. The financial system should have already broke. We just print money
to hold it up. Yeah,
it is literally like the crack. It's more and more cracks happening every year. You're starting to see it. It's getting dangerous, more severe. So. We'll see what happens with this. What's going on? Wired Sparks that Ernest & Young is all in the business. Weren't they auditing Cryptopia? I didn't even know, but
when Cryptopia went,
did they do? But those are the 3. They did Cryptopia. They got this company now, and then they got the Canadian one we can't think of right now, where the guy died.
Quadriga CX.
Quadriga CX. Yep. So Ernest & Young is officially here. That's 3.
Yep.
3's a trend. What's going on? Dark Spirit, Miss Grooves by Chucky. As alts ramping up, what projects should we be peeping out? Oh, man, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head now. I had to do a whole nother deep dive into altcoins right now. We mentioned a couple earlier today. As we said, a lot of them are overpriced, but because of where the market's at, this is their new price. I guess this is their new low for most of them. So right now, I feel like as long as you look at the top 10 or top 20, you can't miss out for the short term. Yeah. Long term, a lot of them are going to die. Yeah. But the short term, next 6 months to a year, I don't feel like you can do a lot of wrong unless Bitcoin severely drops.
If you want a guaranteed pump, always buy Dogecoin.
That's true.
That's
actually true.
It pumps every time. It doesn't matter what's going on. If there's a bull run, Dogecoin is pumping, and you can get some guaranteed money there. But at the most part, other ones I can't really tell you.
One more that's going to be a guaranteed pump. I just slipped my memory. I was about to laugh. There's another one out there. I'm gonna get in a second. And S1 Dubs, what's going on? All right, last but not least for stories today, Russia officially lifts its 2-year Telegram ban. Wow. You saw all that got was silence. They didn't even get a hand clap, people. Russia's Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Information Technology, and Mass Media has officially lifted the ban on Telegram. Oh, okay. I guess that's good news.
Yeah,
what will make them suddenly do that? Why is Telegram getting banned?
It says here, after years of unsuccessful efforts to ban Telegram, local authorities have finally decided to cancel the ban on major encrypted messenger.
So Russian authorities give up easily. I didn't know that.
They pretty much. We got access to everybody we need. You can go ahead and do whatever you want. We have all the access we need. I'm pretty sure your boy rode in on his horse and told them, we're taking this over. We're doing surveillance. And unfortunately for Telegram's CEO, I believe he had to comply a little bit. Now, who knows if he may have bossed up and said, no, we're just not doing it, and they gave up. But I don't know. Russians don't give up that easy. And, after the news came out, Today, first thing we said was, they definitely have access to Telegram now.
What?
I don't think there's anybody who's in any sort of tech that
Telegram's
believes
dead.
they just gave up on surveillance. No. So I'm pretty sure Telegram's on its way down too as well, unfortunately. But
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Had a good run. Had a great run, actually. 2 years. Listen, you got to remember, these crypto companies and apps and everything that's coming out in this space, I mean, it's like the next hot rapper or ball player. Look, you get 2 to 3 years to really get your money and get out on average. If you really look at it, on average, it's 2 to 3 years for most of them. Looks like announcing in the news, Roskamadozer, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. The regulator, announcing in the news, the regulator outlined that the regulator commends Telegram CEO Pavel Durov's willingness to confront terrorism and extremism. All right. If any government person commends you, I mean, think about it like this: like we commend this witness for being, for having the confidence to come out and go against this group of bad guys.
Oh, you mean a snitch?
That's what I was about to get at.
Yeah,
now listen, hey, whenever the government commends you for doing something, the willingness to confront terrorism and extremism. That means you are now officially working with them. It looks like the announcement apparently comes in response to a recent statement from Durov claiming that the Telegram team has been actively combating terrorism and extremism on the messenger while ensuring user privacy. You can't say that in the same sentence. I'm sorry, Pavel Durov, and I'm a huge fan of him and his work, but you can't say that you're combating terrorism and extremism on a private, secure messaging app, but at the same time ensuring user privacy. Like,
it's just a bunch of word soup.
I mean, I get it. More than likely, I can only imagine, and I'm hoping they're saying that, hey, we're not invading your privacy, but with this new algorithm, if we have keywords that say bomb the president in one sentence, it's going to catch that and maybe identify this user. I'm assuming and hoping there's a program like that. But also, like Bitcoin Zay said, and if the government's commending you, if regulators are commending you for helping them, they have access. All right. I don't think it's that private anymore. I don't trust it the same way. Sorry, it just is what it is. And if Russia has it, how long before the United States has it? If they don't already.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of something to think about. But either way it goes, the ban is lifted. Russians can now use Telegram as well. So maybe we'll see some more pump and dump groups next year coming from Russia. We'll see what happens. Chats are decentralized. I know, right? 42 viewers. We growing big time.
Oh,
yeah.
We get them up. Yeah, we need to be at 100 regularly.
We haven't changed, man. It's the same old same. You get this information or you don't. Other than that, that's the show for today. You have anything, Bitcoin Zay?
Oh, yeah. Nothing from me. A few shows coming out this week as far as interviews. Make sure you check them out.
All right. Last one. I like this. S1 Dub said, like when the U.S. government all of a sudden found their own way into iPhones and Apple never gave up the back door. Wink, wink.
Never gave up. Yeah, okay.
Right, exactly. All right, other than that, as we said, that's the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share. We've been forgetting to say it. Make sure you smash that like and share so we can get this YouTube algorithm popping. Come on, people. There's only but 3 or 4 crypto YouTubers left in the space.
And almost none of them have been around as long as this. So.
That's right. Make sure you support. Other than that, thanks for watching as always and continue support. And we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.
Cheers.